Post 1. I never thought I'd be writing something like this, but here I am. I'm 29 male, and I've been with my girlfriend Emily, 27 female, for almost 4 years. We've lived together for 2, and everyone in my family, and hers, sees us as that couple. The stable ones. The ones who are definitely going to get married. Or at least, that's what I thought. The thing is, lately she's been different. I know people drift a little, routines change, but this wasn't just drifting. She started staying late at work a lot, even though she used to complain about never wanting to work overtime. She suddenly had new friends from the gym I'd never met, but whenever I asked for names or details, she'd brush me off with, "You wouldn't know them." I told myself not to be paranoid. Everyone deserves some privacy. But then last week something happened that I can't shake. Emily left her Apple Watch at home. She never leaves that thing behind. It's like an extension of her wrist. I noticed it buzzing on the counter, and at first I ignored it, but it kept lighting up. Curiosity got the better of me. I glanced over expecting maybe a reminder or a group chat. Instead, I saw a preview of a message that made my stomach drop. It was from a guy's name I didn't recognize, and it said, "Can't stop thinking about last night. Round 2 tonight?" I froze. My first thought was that it had to be some kind of mistake. But then more messages popped up in quick succession. Heart emojis, photos, explicit ones. Not the kind of thing you'd ever mistake for innocent. My heart was pounding so hard I felt sick. Against my better judgment, I opened the thread. Dozens of messages between her and this guy. Flirty, romantic, and graphic. References to places they'd been together recently. All lining up with nights she said she was working late. I felt like the floor fell out from under me. This wasn't vague or suspicious. This was evidence. Hard, undeniable evidence that the woman I thought I knew better than anyone had been seeing someone else. When Emily got home, I confronted her immediately. I didn't even try to play it cool. I showed her the watch and demanded an explanation. Her face went white for a second, but then she snapped into defense mode. She said I had no right to snoop through her messages, that I'd violated her privacy. I told her that didn't matter because the content was crystal clear. She was cheating. And then, unbelievably, she laughed. Not a happy laugh, a mean one. She said, "You don't even understand what you're looking at. Those are old, from months ago before we got serious." I told her that was impossible. The messages referenced things that happened last week. A restaurant that just opened. A movie she and I had literally seen the night before, except apparently she saw it twice. With him. Her next move was to spin it as a joke. She said, "You're overreacting. We were just messing around. It's not like it means anything." I couldn't believe my ears. Messing around? With some guy she's clearly been meeting up with, behind my back, for who knows how long. When I pressed her, she turned the tables completely. She said the real problem wasn't her messages, but me. That I was insecure and controlling for going through her watch. That if I trusted her like a normal boyfriend, we wouldn't even be having this fight. The kicker? She texted her mom right after our argument. I know because her phone pinged with a response while she was still fuming at me. Later she told me her mom agreed that I was blowing things out of proportion, that it's normal for women to have private friendships, and that I need to learn boundaries. I feel like I'm living in some alternate reality where the obvious truth is being erased right in front of me. I saw those messages with my own eyes. I know what I read. But somehow Emily managed to twist everything so that I'm the bad guy for even looking. I keep second-guessing myself. Was I wrong to check her watch? Am I crazy for thinking this isn't just harmless flirting? Am I the jerk for believing my girlfriend is hiding a whole other life from me? First comment, nah, you're not overreacting. Cheating via text is still cheating. Don't let her flip this on you. Second comment, you violated her privacy. Maybe you're seeing what you want. Google Photos evidence? Update 1. A lot of people ask me for more details after my first post, and honestly, things have spiraled faster than I ever expected. After the Apple Watch fight, Emily acted like nothing happened. She made dinner, sat on the couch watching TV, even tried to cuddle up like we hadn't just gone nuclear an hour earlier. I couldn't stomach it. I slept in the guest room that night, staring at the ceiling, replaying the messages in my head. The next day I tried to talk again. She brushed me off with, "We already dealt with this. You're paranoid. Drop it." That's when I realized she wasn't going to admit anything. She was going to stonewall me into silence. So I started digging. Not snooping for fun, but because I felt like I was losing my grip on reality. If I was wrong, fine, I'd apologize. But if I was right, I needed proof strong enough that even Emily's mom couldn't excuse it. Turns out, Apple devices sync everything. Photos, texts, locations. When Emily gave me her old iPad last year, she must have forgotten to wipe it properly. Out of curiosity, I charged it up. Within minutes, her iCloud flooded the device. And that's when the floor dropped out again. The photos, dozens of them. Not just selfies or food shots, pictures of her with him, hugging at a park, kissing in a car. One of them in a hotel room mirror, his arm around her waist. And timestamps on all of them. Dates lining up perfectly with nights she told me she was working late, at the gym, or grabbing drinks with coworkers. My hands were shaking as I scrolled. Each swipe felt like another knife. It wasn't just an affair. This was a relationship. Whole weekends together, trips, a double life. When Emily got home, I confronted her again, this time with pictures. I expected an apology, maybe tears, maybe even anger. But she didn't budge. She glanced at one photo and rolled her eyes. "Seriously? You're going through my old stuff now? That's pathetic." I told her these weren't old. They were from last month. She smirked and said, "Do you realize how crazy you sound? Digging through my cloud like some detective? That's controlling behavior." Then she twisted the knife. "This is exactly why I don't tell you things. You can't handle it." I couldn't believe it. Here I was, holding photographic proof, and she was still flipping it back on me. Later that night, I got a text from her sister. "Stop harassing Emily. She told us what you're doing. Going through her private stuff, trying to trap her." "That's toxic, man." I nearly threw my phone. Emily wasn't just denying it to me. She was rallying her family, feeding them half-truths, so they'd attack me instead. I decided to test something. I asked her point blank, "Who's the guy in these pictures?" Her answer? "Just a friend." You're making this into something it's not. A friend doesn't kiss you in a hotel bathroom mirror. A friend doesn't send you heart emojis at 2 a.m. But she kept repeating it. Like if she said it enough, I'd believe her. The most surreal part is her family doubling down. Emily's mom texted me too. Relationships are about trust. If you keep prying into Emily's life, you'll drive her away. As if she wasn't already gone. It's like I'm watching someone rewrite history in real time. Emily's lying, her family's enabling, and I'm left feeling like the insane one for pointing out the obvious. But I'm not crazy. I have screenshots, dates, locations, receipts. The worst part? My parents don't know yet. They adore Emily. They think she's the best thing that ever happened to me. How do I tell them the woman they see as future daughter-in-law has been living a second life right under my nose? So, I guess that's where I'm at. The gaslighting is so thick it feels like I'm choking, but I can't unsee what I've seen. First comment. You're not crazy. She's rewriting reality because she knows she's caught. Save those screenshots somewhere safe. Second comment. Honestly, man, this is on you for snooping. Relationships can't survive when one partner is always checking the other's devices. Update 2. I didn't think things could get more surreal than the iPad discovery, but I was wrong. After Update 1, I started keeping everything: screenshots, backups, printed copies even. I knew if Emily's family was already calling me controlling and paranoid, I'd need rock-solid evidence to prove I wasn't just spinning stories. The next bombshell came by accident. A buddy of mine from work texted me a picture. He'd been out at a restaurant downtown with his wife and noticed Emily sitting in a booth with another guy. He didn't want to get involved, but when he saw the tension in my face at work recently, he figured I deserved to know. The kicker? The picture had a timestamp from last Friday. The same night Emily swore she was at her mom's helping with chores. When I confronted her, she didn't even flinch. She just sighed like I was the annoying one. "Oh my God, are you still on this?" "You need help, seriously." "That's a coworker. We grabbed dinner. Stop embarrassing yourself." Except I recognized the guy. He wasn't a coworker, he was the same man from the iCloud photos. I pushed harder. She snapped back with, "Even if I did spend time with him, so what? You're the one destroying this marriage by digging. Do you want to be single? Because that's where you're headed." And then she pulled her family in again. Her dad called me the next morning and told me to cut it out before you ruin Emily's reputation. He accused me of trying to smear her because I couldn't handle a strong woman having friends outside the marriage. I nearly laughed, not because it was funny, but because it was insane. Her reputation? What about my reality? What about my life being gutted by someone who clearly has a whole other relationship? I decided I needed more than pictures, something undeniable. That's when I went through our shared bank statements. Emily and I still have a joint account for bills, and I noticed transfers to an account I didn't recognize. Thousands over the last few months. I followed the breadcrumbs and found a credit card statement in her desk drawer. She'd been paying for hotel stays, dinners, even plane tickets. Flights to Chicago, booked for 2. When I showed her the bank statements, her mask cracked for the first time. She didn't deny it right away. She just stared at me, silent, before blurting out, "Fine, but it's not what you think." I asked her what exactly I was supposed to think about plane tickets and hotel rooms. She said, "He needed help. I was supporting him because he's going through a tough time. That's what kind people do. Supporting him. With our money. While telling me she was helping her mom." I couldn't believe it. She kept shifting the story. First it was nothing, then it was a friend, then it was charity. Next, it'll probably be my fault for not understanding her. Her family, of course, swallowed her version whole. Her sister texted me, "I can't believe you're trying to make Emily look bad when she's been helping someone in need. You should be proud to have such a generous wife." Generous. That's the word they used. Like she's some saint handing out blessings instead of sneaking off with another man on my dime. At this point, I don't even know what hurts more: the cheating, or the fact that she's managed to build a wall of defenders who refuse to see what's right in front of them. It's like I'm screaming in a crowded room and everyone has earplugs in. But I won't let her twist this forever. I've started separating finances. I've pulled money into a personal account. And I've spoken to a lawyer. Because no matter how many times she says it's not what it looks like, the truth is undeniable. Emily has been living a double life. First comment: this isn't generosity. It's betrayal. Keep locking down your finances and protect yourself. She'll drain you if you let her. Second comment: you're obsessed. If you can't trust her, just leave. Why waste time digging? Move on instead of acting like a detective. Update 3. I thought the watch, the pictures, and the bank statements were already more than enough. But Emily keeps moving the goalposts, and her family keeps standing shoulder to shoulder with her, like they're protecting a national treasure instead of someone actively blowing up her marriage. After Update 2, I met with a lawyer. She advised me to keep documenting everything because in cases like this, Denial and gaslighting are as common as breathing. No kidding. That same night, Emily's brother showed up at my door. He came in hot, accusing me of ruining the family with my paranoia. He said I was trying to punish Emily for having a life outside of me. When I asked him about the money transfers, the photos, the flights, he waved it off like it was pocket change. So she has friends, so what? You're acting insecure. Men don't snoop, they provide. I nearly lost it. Provide? I was the one paying the mortgage, keeping the lights on, and now apparently funding his sister's side romance. And then came the bombshell. I went back through the iCloud, this time combing through the calendar entries that had synced over. Buried under fake work events and family dinners, there were notes, initials I didn't recognize, appointments at unfamiliar addresses. I cross-checked one of them on Google Maps. It wasn't a restaurant or hotel. It was a pediatric clinic. My stomach dropped. I opened more. Multiple visits over the past year. I confronted Emily and she laughed at me. Laughed. You're unbelievable. Do you hear yourself? You're really trying to spin me taking a friend's kid to the doctor into some sinister thing? But when I pressed her, when I demanded the name of this supposed friend's kid, she couldn't give me one. She stammered, got defensive, and then finally spat, "Why does it matter?" You wouldn't understand. That's when I realized the double life was even bigger than I thought. I don't know if the guy she's been seeing already has a child, or if this is their child. The dates line up close enough to when her lies really started ramping up. I can't prove it yet, but the possibility is gnawing at me like acid. Her family, of course, jumped in immediately. Her mom called me crying, saying I was slandering Emily with disgusting accusations, and that I should be ashamed. Her dad threatened to make sure I never get a dime if I tried to drag their daughter through court. Meanwhile, Emily keeps stonewalling. Every time I corner her with facts, she sidesteps, reframes, or turns it back on me. Why are you so obsessed with tearing me down? Why can't you just let me be happy? Because she's been living another life right under my nose, and expects me to bankroll it, smile, and stay quiet. I've moved out of the bedroom and onto the couch. Every day, I feel like I'm living with a stranger who wears my wife's face. I don't even want to look at her anymore, but I can't walk away just yet. Not until I know the whole truth. The lawyer says discovery will be brutal but illuminating. If she's been hiding money, accounts, or, God forbid, another child, it will all come out. Part of me dreads it, but another part can't wait. Because the not knowing is killing me more than the betrayal. First comment: you're not crazy. Her behavior screams double life. Get the lawyer to subpoena everything. You'll get your answers, and she won't be able to keep lying. Second comment: you're reading too much into this. A pediatric clinic? Come on. Maybe she really was helping a friend. You're turning into a conspiracy theorist. Do you want me to move forward with Update 4, where Emily's family publicly sides with her, and she tries to force OP into an ultimatum? Update 4. I didn't think things could get more surreal, but Emily and her family proved me wrong. After the pediatric clinic discovery, I stopped engaging with Emily directly. Every conversation turned into a circus of denial, deflection, and blame shifting. So I let my lawyer handle it. That should have been the end of it, right? Wrong. Her family staged what I can only describe as an intervention. For me. They invited me to a family dinner, said it was about clearing the air. Against my better judgment, I went. I figured maybe they'd finally be ready to hear the truth. Instead, I walked straight into an ambush. Emily's parents, siblings, even a couple of cousins were there. As soon as I sat down, her dad launched into a speech about loyalty and standing by your wife no matter what. Her mom cried about how women have needs too, and how I was cruel for denying Emily the right to happiness. Emily sat there like a queen on her throne, letting everyone else do the talking. Every time I tried to bring up the evidence, the texts, the flights, the clinic visits, someone cut me off. Her brother said, "You keep digging because you don't like the answers." Her cousin chimed in, "So what if she has a friend or two? That doesn't make her a cheater. You're the one destroying this marriage." Finally, I turned to Emily. I asked her point blank, "Are you seeing someone else? Yes or no?" She smirked and said, "Why should I answer a question that only exists in your imagination?" That was the moment I realized there was no bottom to this. No matter how much evidence I found, she and her family would twist it, minimize it, or outright ignore it. So I stood up, thanked them for dinner, and said, "This will all come out in court. You can keep playing pretend, but I won't." Then I walked out. The fallout was immediate. Her dad left me a voicemail saying I'd regret airing dirty laundry in front of a judge. Her mom texted me a wall of messages about how I was cruel and heartless. Emily, for her part, sent me a single line. "If you wanted to win, you should have tried harder at being a husband." I don't even know what that means anymore. At this point, the mask is fully off. She's not just denying, she's taunting. She's daring me to push this to the edge. And I will, because I'm done playing the fool. The lawyer has already filed motions to subpoena her financials and communication records. If she thinks she can keep hiding, she's in for a rude awakening. First comment. Her family defending her so blindly makes me think they already know and just don't care. They'd rather protect her image than deal with reality. You're right to let the courts handle it. Second comment. Walking out was the best thing you could have done. Stop arguing with people who've decided not to believe you. Paper trail greater than family drama. Update 5. The subpoenas came back, and everything I suspected, every late-night fight, every gaslit denial, every smug little smirk from Emily, was vindicated in black and white. Her phone records, her bank statements, her travel history. It all told the same story. For over a year, Emily had been living a double life. She wasn't just meeting a friend or catching up with coworkers. She was splitting her time, our money, and her entire identity between me and another man. I'll spare you the blow-by-blow, but here are the highlights. Dozens of hotel bookings in cities she claimed she was working late in. Restaurant reservations charged to our joint account, usually 2 people. Often on weekends, I was home with our son. A second phone line in her name that I never knew about, almost exclusively used to contact this guy. Financial transfers from her personal account to his, thousands of dollars at a time. And the kicker? Pictures. The subpoena pulled backups from her iCloud. Selfies of them together in hotel rooms, arms around each other, like it was their honeymoon phase. When I confronted her with the paperwork, she didn't even flinch. She glanced at it, then looked me dead in the eye and said, "So what? At least he makes me feel alive." That was it. No apology. No shame. Just a cold dismissal, as if I'd just accused her of leaving the lights on too long. Her family, predictably, doubled down. Her mom said, "Well, maybe if you'd been more romantic, she wouldn't have needed to look elsewhere." Her dad accused me of trying to ruin her reputation. Even after seeing the receipts, they refused to acknowledge it as cheating. The goalpost shifted again. First it was, "You're imagining things." Then it was, "That's not what it looks like." Now it's, "Well, maybe she strayed, but you drove her to it." That's when something in me finally broke. Or maybe it healed. I realized there was no version of this story where Emily or her family would ever admit what she'd done. They'd twist themselves into pretzels before they gave me that satisfaction. So I stopped asking. I stopped waiting for them to see reason. Instead, I handed everything to my lawyer. With the level of evidence we've got, she's not just looking at losing custody negotiations. She may end up paying me spousal support when this is done. I didn't want it to come to this, but she left me no choice. And the craziest part? Even as her world starts to collapse, Emily still acts like she's untouchable. She told a mutual friend, "He'll never leave me completely. He's too boring to start over." If she honestly believes that after all this, then she's delusional. I'm done being her plan B, her backup husband, her boring safety net. I've got my son, my career, and the truth on my side. Let her cling to her lies. The rest of us will move on. First comment. This is classic DARVO. She'll never admit fault because she needs the narrative where you're the bad guy. Stop engaging and let the court filings speak for you. Second comment. Her family shifting the blame onto you after seeing receipts is next-level denial. You're right. They'll never admit it. Focus on your son and yourself. She's already lost. It's been about a year since everything blew up, and for the first time in a long time, I feel like I can breathe again. The divorce finalized a few months back. Thanks to the mountain of evidence my lawyer presented, the judge saw right through Emily's act. She tried to spin it as just needing companionship, and even dragged her family into court to testify that I was cold and distant. But the records, photos, and financial transfers were undeniable. The ruling was almost surreal. Emily lost primary custody. She gets every other weekend and one evening a week. The judge cited her pattern of dishonesty and unstable behavior as a factor, which is legal speak for your double life, blew up your credibility. On top of that, she was ordered to pay a chunk of my legal fees directly out of her share of the marital assets. The irony is she'd hired the most expensive lawyer in town, thinking I'd be the one crushed under the costs. Instead, the strategy backfired and ate most of her payout. As for me, I kept the house and full custody of our son. We've settled into a new routine that actually feels peaceful. There are still tough days. Co-parenting with someone who sees themselves as the victim isn't easy. Emily still makes little digs at exchanges like, "He seems sad when he leaves me. Maybe he misses having a real family." I don't engage. Our son is thriving, happier, more relaxed, even doing better in school. That's all the proof I need that I made the right calls. Emily, on the other hand, is living smaller now. From what mutual acquaintances say, her other man bailed as soon as the court orders came down. Her family still defends her publicly, but privately I've heard cracks are showing. They're tired of footing her bills and excuses. She's renting a small apartment across town, working part-time, and still posting those curated perfect life photos online like nothing happened. I don't hate her anymore. If anything, I pity her. She threw away her marriage, her stability, and her reputation for a fantasy that evaporated the moment it was tested by reality. And even now, she can't admit she did anything wrong. As for me, I'm not dating yet, and honestly, I'm not in a rush. I've been focusing on being a good dad, repairing friendships I neglected, and just enjoying the quiet. The absence of chaos is its own kind of happiness. If there's one lesson I've taken from all this, it's that you can't force someone to value you or be honest with you. But you can choose to stop being their safety net. And once you do, life opens up in ways you didn't expect. For the first time in years, I'm excited about the future. Excited about the future. Excited about the future.